Hi, welcome to our reading for the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, the 5th to 6th of November. Remember, it's a general reading. See what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We are all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing, so see what feels right for you. It could be one sign, and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everyone involved. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you, how you ride. These energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for the wave, crashing into the wave, riding the wave, or ignoring the wave. Also, feel free to make this an interactive video if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the links I provide below. Show your love and support to the artists and musicians and see if there's more signs and symbols for the weekend for you in those links. All right, thank you for joining me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a moment. Welcome to our reading for the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, the 5th to 6th of November 2016. Where did I put those cards? Oh, we might have to take off the old earring. Vincenzo wants to be present, but I'm not sure what's going to go on here because he was sleeping a moment ago, but he started fidgeting in his cage. So let's begin. Let's see what's going on for the weekend for the 5th and the 6th of November. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Let's get one card for focus, clarity, and understanding the energies, and how to ride these energies best for all of us. Let's start with one card. And that's options. I keep getting the scale, so maybe a Libra or justice, or I feel like it's balance. You're finding balance. You're walking to the water also. So you're walking towards your emotion with, it's like two shells. Vincenzo's going to do my hair right now. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. I feel like you're walking towards the open ocean. Open possibilities, but I feel like there's a fish for you, if that makes sense. There's a specific catch for you that brings you balance. So weigh out, I'm getting like the pros and the cons. I feel like you have more than one thing going on right now. You're balancing two different situations. So see what's more important, what's, easier for you. I'm getting what's easier. What's the easier way? What brings more balance? What frees things up for you? I feel like you have to free something up. So you're weighing out what's not working so you can rid of something and bring something better in maybe, but that brings, you know, something free. This person's just like in their toga, you know, in their sheets, walk into the, like they're just free and relaxed. So maybe don't stress so much about these options, like really, you know, feel it out a little bit. Put something on your scale and see how it feels. You know, walk around with it for a little bit. And I feel like you're almost dousing, the energy of the area, feeling the energy of the area, how it feels inside of you, and weighing your options that way. And if it doesn't feel right, you know, lessen it a little bit. Take a little bit off. He's doing my hair. And see how something else feels there. You're going to do my hair, Vinny? All right, let's move along. Let's go to the Angel Tarot. What do you think about that? Let's get a card to bring clarity to options. It's with the S. There's more than one here. So there's a way for you to move things around a little bit. I feel like you're walking around with something. You're actually feeling something out, feeling something, getting grounded. What drives your emotion, what pulls your emotion forward in a positive way and not a negative way, not a stale way, not a, yeah, not like a hard energy, a light energy. Let's get another card for the weekend. I don't think Vincenzo likes my hairdo. I had to pull it up, Finny. And that's a leap of faith. So, this is the Fool or the Dreamer. This keeps coming up. So, you know, we're meant to take a leap of faith in a different way. Maybe we're feeling out what that is, but there's trust involved here. I feel like there's trust in yourself here. You're being yourself here. You have like a companion at your side. You have, you know, like protection. There's all these butterflies around you here. So there's transformation, whatever way this is. It brings you complete balance as well. This is that balance on the scale. This is holding the scale right here and finding that 0 point. Because it's the 0. You're protected inside of this 0. You're magnified as well when you're yourself. When you trust. You have to trust each step. This is Archangel Metatron. And it's... I feel like it's trust in trying something different here. Like, trust that you can feel the scale as you move to know what you need to release as you go and what you need to keep as you go. I feel like it's a path. You're on the 0, but I feel like you're moving forward. And this halo, this circle, this 0 is just around you the whole time. This protection's still around you. No matter which way you go, you'll figure it out. You still have like a bubble of protection around you. All right, let's move along. He's tickling me. Let's go to the Thelema Tarot and get more clarity on the Fool, the Leap of Faith. Trusting. Did I even read the bottom? I keep doing that. Believe in yourself. Listen to your heart and do what gives you joy. So that's with this. That's what you're listening to. You know, what doesn't make your scale heavy. What makes things feel brand new. What makes you feel light and free. What you really want to do. I feel like there's big changes in directions with everybody. With wherever they were going before, or what they thought they wanted before, or what they were doing before in a job, or relationships with something, and then there's a change. There's a need for change, and then like an aha moment that makes you go somewhere else. I feel like people are just going a different direction, and they don't really know where that's taking them, but trusting it's somewhere better kind of thing. So maybe it just takes starting and trusting you're okay on this start. Let's get another card for the 5th and the 6th. And that's Justice. So this keeps coming up too. So whatever, you know, look at the scales here. You know, it's like, this is the big justice and this is the little, this is asking you to do it. But this is a big scale coming back into balance when you do it. I feel like it takes doing that for this scale to come back into balance. I feel like it's happening all around you at the same time too. So I feel like there's like, you know, nudges to which way to go. You're feeling something out. You're knowing you have to go a certain way. You're laying clarity and truth down with gentleness and grace. And when I see this, I see the 2 phases of the moon. So I think of maybe in between the months, you know, maybe between now and December, you know, things will come back into balance, but it begins now with that start. There's the feather and a heart and the sun. So the sun beaming truth right smack on top of this sword of truth. You know, almost like it's protecting it, shining upon it, bringing truth forward and making that what brings you stability. You know, you're just standing on this pillar here, calmly. I feel like everything's just going to come together as it should. It starts with you moving. But I feel like if you were worried about things around you, that's just going to come back into balance. Let's get more clarity on justice. That's number 11 as well. So that's walking through something. That brings us to a 2. It's allowing something new, allowing something to happen. It's a feminine energy. So looking at every side of that situation, not just here and here, not just, you know, that or that, but all aspects. Look the whole way around this situation, every situation, and see where you can move things around. I feel like you're taking a piece here and putting something there, and like I see somebody like almost with like a wall that has magnets, or like when you have magnet paint, something like that, and you're literally like figuring things out and looking at everything of the situation, what you have to do, and like moving things around. I don't know what that means. I hope that's helpful. But that's how the scale's coming. It's like a circular motion that brings the scale into balance. But I feel like it's center that's important here, and maybe listening to your gut, since that's focused on her gut, and that's the moon there. You have a hand on your heart, a hand on your, yeah, I feel like the other one's down at your gut, feeling something out, and you're standing tall. And there's growth behind you. There's clouds under you here, so there was something unclear before, something you didn't understand, and you're rising above that. You know, you're coming out of a situation, you're bringing balance back into something, and there's growth here with that tree behind you. So, let's go to the Native American Tarot and get another card for 11. Justice, having options. I feel like it's not just one thing here. It's a bunch of things that you're moving around. And I feel like this leap of faith just starts with one thing, like a tiny little thing that changes the balance in your scale. Or maybe that tiny thing that you move around makes a big change in how your scale feels. Maybe that tiny little thing is very valuable. You know, I'm thinking weight, but like gold value, not, you know, weighing you down, like something bright. I'm getting information, so maybe it's valuable information that'll bring things to justice. I hear moving, so let's get another card for the weekend. Clarity on justice, options, and the Fool, the leap of faith. That one. What's that? Well, that's the 7. Well, that's leaving something behind, changing direction, and it being a little bit hard to take this leap of faith because you have to really weigh out what's good for you and what's not. It's not like woohoo, throw everything off of my scales here and let's go. You have responsibilities. You have things you have to do. You have like if things are changing, you have to make plans. You have to make changes correctly so you're not being half-ass about it, is what I'm getting. So even though the Fool is being a fool, you don't want to be a half-ass fool. The 7 of Pentacles is... This is called the Trail of Tears in this deck. So I feel like something came and forced you away from something. And that's bringing you towards some truth. So you can find some stability in your world. But it's hard to change. This is hard change. You know, it's hard. You're leaving something behind to move another direction. You're letting go of something you love. Something you really like, but you can't do anymore. Or you put too much time into and now it didn't work. You know, something came along and changed that situation. Just made you move. And maybe that's not what you expected. You didn't expect to have to weigh these big scales all of a sudden or go a different direction all of a sudden. But it's like moving along. You have to move along. There's someone here that's like, he's like, I feel like he's making this family go, or he's making you move your location, or like move along, you're not supposed to be here, or this isn't for you. And this family like traveled really, I just got the thing of like Chevy Chase. So like they went to Wally World, and then it was closed, you know, and they were just told to go home. It's like that. Like you have to change your mind on something that you thought you wanted to do, and it's like kind of disappointing. But that change in direction, that journey was important. Maybe it was about the bond that this family had on that journey getting there, and whatever they encounter on the way home, or the direction they have to go now, that's going to run along their path later that they don't see, that's going to help them out. So it's a hard change, but it's moving away from something that wasn't working, that wasn't good, that wasn't right. Maybe this is a push that happened, so you have to change now. Let's go to the wisdom of the oracle. Get another card on 7 of, here it's shields. So it's like pentacles. And I feel like this was somehow protection. Like this guy actually knows there's danger back here, and this family just wanted to go on by, and even though it looks like it's a sad situation, there is some kind of protection here. Because with the 7, I feel like it's spiritual protection. So there's something stopping this path and pushing a different path with this group, this family. This it could be people that work together at a job. New boss comes in and makes you do something different, and maybe there's something better that way that you're just not used to, and you don't want to change, but it's better to go. Or better to leave this environment. Or I feel like there's protection here. I feel like he's not hurting them. He's just making them do something different, or, you know, protecting them from going somewhere where they could have been hurt. So let's get another card for the 7 and the Trail of Tears, the Leap of Faith, options, and Justice. Yang. So male energy. It takes some doing to get it done. It takes male energy, like pure male energy. It's moving, creating something with movement, with activity, with like the power that you have inside of you to make it happen. It's taking the action. It's also being mindful of your actions. So connecting your mind to your heart before you take action. It's a 1. So that, I feel like that just happened in a reading. There was the 0 and the 1 with the Fool and the Magician. But this isn't the Magician. This is just a man. It's just male energy, male or female. It's that wanting to do something and make it happen inside of you. So maybe even with tears, even leaving something behind, you have to make something happen. You can't just stick around and let everything go on around you and you don't do anything about it for you. Because this is doing what's good for you and what's actually making you feel like your actual self, like what you're here to do, what you're here to be. Like it makes sense with this, even though you don't really know what's happening yet. And I feel like this is a logical card. So this is understanding what you, hear what you want to give, what you want to put out. So maybe you're pursuing something different. Let's get another card. Let's go to the Steampunk Tarot. And get a card for Yang. Masculine, the masculine principle of movement, of doing, of action. I hear the seed, like, you know, the catalyst. I hear invention for some reason. So maybe there's an invention or something that you thought of, you're working on, and you got like I'm getting you got like a no from somebody. Maybe a book, a song, something you created and there was a no, a job. I don't know where I got invention out of that, but I feel like that was something you created and made. Not just thought about and let happen, but like really made. And there was like a no, and maybe you were sad about that no, so you're weighing your options, but maybe there's something better coming in, a better option. Weigh your pros and your cons in that situation. Maybe that wasn't a good situation. Maybe that was protection somewhere. You know, something you didn't get was actually protection for you. Let's get another card. Well, that's the Ace of Swords, and that's complete clarity. That's also a yes. You know, that was I feel like that was protection, and now it's time to move with this idea. I feel like you're still moving with the same idea, though. Maybe it didn't work before, but you have to redo it, go a different way, go a different direction. You know, find where you can put more. I feel like you're putting balance in your life so you can not be so, I hear, not be so overwhelmed with things. Maybe overwhelmed with others' response to something. This is your clear response to something, though. You're putting the energy into something. You're turning something on. This is an aha moment, a great idea. This is that yes. This is when you know this is in balance. In balance. I have so many decks around me right now. I'm just going to go to another one. This is the Energy Oracle. I'm not sure if I've ever used this in a reading. I don't think I have. Maybe. No, I don't. I really... Maybe once, but I don't remember using it. So let's pull another card for the Ace of Swords. That's truth. That's truth coming to light. You know? That's that big sword of truth. But you have to do something about this idea. You have to keep going. You have to find this balance. You have to actually take that leap for this yes to happen. Otherwise, it's just still out there in the electricity, in the ether. You have to grab it and turn it on. So let's get clarity on the Ace of Swords. First chakra, Archangel Michael. That's like, that makes me think of the 35. That makes me think that's like the root chakra. That's like survival. That's like passion, energy. It's like that's also male energy. That makes me think of the yang a little bit, but it's like blue and red. It's kind of different, but I feel like that the seed is what I'm hearing again. So it's that need to keep going, that need for survival. 35, it's also an 8. So that brings you power, control, back in control. Know what you're fighting for. No, it's just not worth your time. What's not worth putting your energy into. Have clarity on your passions. You know, I feel like that moves up into your creativity next with like orange, but this is like the engine. This is getting it going. This is that root chakra that pulls you down to earth, that makes you feel like you're alive, that makes you feel here, like you're living, like you're running, like you're moving. You know, I think of like running, you know, like somebody running in a marathon or running, you know, outside, like physical energy. It makes me think of Aries a little bit for some reason, even though Aries is the head. So maybe there's a balance. Maybe someone's an Aries, or there's a balance between your head and your root chakra here. So everything is aligned. Maybe your passions were out of whack before. You know, what you were fighting for, what you were surviving for was wrong. Maybe it's not about surviving. Maybe it's about living and loving. Loving what you're doing. You know, moving forward with something that you really love. That's this idea that you want in your world. So let's get another card from the Fairy Tarot. Clarity on. Yang energy, Ace of Swords. truth, honesty, clarity, brand new starts, you know, that are balanced, that you're sure about. You weighed your scales, or you're, you know, something happened to change your directions and now you have to weigh those scales. But you have to start something, there has to be something new on that scale, or thrown off the scale so something new can come on. And that's awakening. So that's 12. That's the Hanged Man. So this is where you find your balance. It starts in changing the way you see your situation. It's also a pause, a temporary pause to figure things out, to walk around with this a little bit, to have some conversations with this person, you know, in this opportunity with yourself about something, what's good for you. Where do you feel like yourself? Where do you feel like you maybe weren't yourself? And where do you feel like you thought you were sure before, but now you're not, and that needs to change? This is changing your mind on something, or somebody else changing their mind on something, so that the scales come back into balance. So you come back into balance with this 4 when you stand up again. You can't hang too long, you know, or all the blood goes to your head and you start making goofy decisions. You're there just long enough to see things a different way. You know, you still have light around your head. You're still becoming clear here. You're finding how the sun can shine around you, doing things a different way. You know, so you can feel like you can fly free when you release yourself, when you make this leap, when you move. Right now, this is not moving, but maybe you have to figure something out before you can. You know, this is a 12. It's also balanced. And that's also the 11 and the 12. So the yin and the yang, the masculine, the feminine, change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness, and it's a temporary pause in the action. This could be somebody else changing the way they see something, and that's what comes clear. But I feel like it's this pause that makes everything clear. But I feel like this pause is you figuring out how to move, figuring out how to grab this, figuring out how to speak your truth, figuring out how to look at that situation a different way so you can get out, so you can just do it a different way so it's not so hard. It's interesting, in this one, you're not actually hanging. He's actually doing a handstand. You're actually holding yourself up upside down on purpose. You're not hanging at all. You're actually awakening. You're actually pushing yourself off of the ground a totally different way. That's so awesome. These cards are still new, these fairy ones. That's really cool. You're like outside, the sun shining on you, and you're changing the way you see something. You're choosing to see it upside down. I feel like you're moving. I'm getting that Aries energy, like actually exercising or something. Like you're doing like push-ups upside down to, like, you know, gain some strength. The more you do, the better you get. But, you know, when you stand up again, the blood's going to be at, like, to your head for a minute, you know, and then there's going to be a connection made. And I feel like endorphins, like you're exercising or something. You're gaining strength. You're learning how to fly. I actually see somebody doing like art, looking at something a totally different way, like actually changing how you see a photograph so it looks like something different. That was sort of random out of that, but it's just, yeah, looking at something backwards so you can understand it a different way. Changing your mind about something, you know, changing how you saw something you saw before so that you can move a different way and make it better. All right, since this was a long reading, let's go to one more card from the Romance Angels and get clarity on this awakening. Moving forward with something. Maybe you're waking up. Someone around you is waking up on something. Now you have to figure out what to do, how to move, kind of thing. You know, not a big deal. Take a pause. It just has to be done. Not necessarily anything huge, but you need to weigh out your options so you know where to fly. Backwards, forwards, upside down. Okay, one more card for romance, communication, relationships, and summing up this reading and matters of the heart for the weekend. Pay it. Well, there we go. That's the pros and the cons. So whatever offer comes in, whatever you're doing, you know, with this clarity and how you're moving forward, I feel like that's your bubble of protection still, like the Fool. You still have that circle around you. It's like you're protected right around you. So when there's something that comes at you and it doesn't feel right, no, you're getting that signal for a reason, because that's the wrong way. So trust that, you know, feeling you have inside of you in your gut here that you are feeling here, and go a different way. Even if it's completely different and you never went that way before, you're protected, you're okay. The signs are cautioning you. I feel like they're cautioning you both ways, towards something and away from something else, towards something good, and, you know, like little signs to say, not good for you, don't go that way. That's not the best way to go. That's not the best person to talk to. That's not the best thing to say. Also recognize that in others, you know, what's said, what you catch in like interviews and stuff like that. I'm getting like if you're in an interview and, you know, maybe that's not the job for you if you catch the person interviewing you saying something that you don't like, you know, maybe you wouldn't be happy there. Pay attention to that. Weigh that out. Maybe they're offering something that's not right for you, you know, or if it's a relationship and somebody said, you know, you're going on a date or something and somebody says something and you just know that's not, I would say like just pay attention to the red flags, but keep moving forward. If you feel like, don't like X somebody out if they said something weird, just feel that situation out and keep moving along if you feel like you should, and if it just creeps you out, move along. But I feel like this is money. I feel like this is job and opportunity and weighing out things going on around you for what's good for you. So pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't miss out on a signal and pay for it later because you didn't pay attention. Let's get one more card. I keep saying that. I'm just gonna... No, I never expect to pull another card, and we keep pulling a card, so let's get one more. This is the last card for the weekend. Let's sum up. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Pointing a direction, pointing... I feel like you're feeling something out still. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I feel like you're feeling your way through here, and the right way is the way that feels loving, that feels inviting, that feels warm, that feels good to you. It's not the way that gives you the weird, like, you know, it's not that way. It's the other way. So if this is between two jobs or something to get rid of and something that you keep, I would say feel it out, and the one that makes you feel a little more icky is probably the one to, like, you know, get off your plate a little bit. This is towards something you love, something happy, something you like to do, something you want on your plate, something you want to experience, something you want to get on that horse and ride to. So you have to open your heart to something, to the truth of something, to this leap of faith, you know, with the reality that you have to move forward with this, with something that really, really, really makes you passionate. Like, you know, that you would, like, I hear, like, I just heard that really funny. I just heard a song from, oh God, where in my brain files did that come from? Where did that come from? I just heard a song from Robin Hood. I guess everything I do it for you. That's what I heard. So I'll put that song below. But like, you know, like I think of like family, you know, the one you love, your children, what you would die for, what you would survive for, what you would do anything for. Male energy, but that just took me to a totally different place. I'm seeing Robin Hood in my head now. So it kind of looks like that too a little bit. I feel like this person was afraid to let somebody up on the horse before, and now she's letting somebody ride the horse. Or you're taking a chance to get off your high horse, maybe, and come down here and, you know, have some conversation. Try something out. Walk around with this person for a little bit and feel it out. See how it makes you feel, but you have to do something. You know? Move somewhere. Let somebody get on. Give them a hand up. Get down for them. Make it happen. But trust yourself. Trust love when it feels right. You know, love is a high energy. It's a high vibration. It'll bring the right situations in your life. You know, it'll bring truth in your world. It'll bring balance in your world. And you'll feel out the things that aren't right for you. So trust that. All right, guys, I know this was a lot of cards. I'm going to have a lot down there that I have to put to put as my cards I used in this reading. So I hope this was helpful. I love you guys. Have a beautiful